When a company releases an updated version of a product, sometimes you just have to take their word for it. Other times, they want to send you that product and ask you to make a video demonstrating it versus the old version to find out if it is actually, or not so much find out, but prove if it is better. So here I have the original MJJC Foam Cannon Pro, and here, stop rattling, is the MJJC Foam Cannon Pro version 2. Is it better? Well, that is the purpose of today's video. So according to the box, there are some differences. According to this, the new generation has thicker foam. That's the headliner. Everybody wants to know that one. Is it thicker? We all love thick snow foam, don't we? It's great fun, but does it give you much? Does it do more? I honestly, I don't care. I think snow foam is fun. So if it's thicker, that's good with me. More functions. I've had a look over these things. I cannot find that one would do more functioning than the other one, more functionality. I can't find it, I can't see it. Easier in using, they both seem absolutely identical, but I'll show you what they both look like and how they work in just a moment. Bigger capacity, they both have 1 litre bottles on them. We'll have to measure them later and get an idea. Stabler standing, again, I will fill them up with some snow foam and or water, and we'll poke them and see if one falls over before the other. It's about the only way I can figure that one out. Let's have a look at the difference between them though, just so you can see. So this is the older one here, and you can see it's got this sort of bolt assembly here, all right? So it's a hexagonal bolt there, but fairly standard fare. This is the new one, and you can see there it's got this nicely machined MJJC on the side. This is the only way I can tell the difference, is because of that. They both have these little rubber grommets here. These are actually breather holes for when you're using snow foam and it starts to go down, it would create a vacuum above it. So this allows air to get in and equalize the pressure in it. So they both have that. They both have the ability to rotate here. So you can twist this red section here and you can go horizontal and back around to vertical, and it just keeps going around 360 degrees. And at the front bit, the black bit, if you twist that, you get either a jet or a fan. Okay, they both do that exact same thing. They both have little dilution dials on the top, but you can see the dial graphic is a little different. Here is a plus and a minus, and here it's like a sort of volume knob thing. But otherwise, that's it. The other thing, there's no difference, but they both have, when it said it's easier to use. This is how you change the orifice that's inside this. So this is the 1/4 inch connector I've got here, and you simply unscrew this. There's no special tools required. Simply unscrew it, and once it's off, you'll see inside there a small piece that looks like a flathead screwdriver would go on that. That is the 1.25mm orifice. You literally unscrew it with a screwdriver and screw in the new one if you want to use the 1.1mm. So that's really about it. Now, as far as the orifices are concerned, I'm going to say this. If you have a very low powered machine, you might want to swap to that smaller orifice. However, even with a relatively low powered machine, it may not always work. You see, the tiny orifice creates a jet which will help to spread out the water and catch the snow foam and mix it properly and deliver a good foam. Now, with my old pressure washer, my Nilfisk C105, it's 105 bar, after a while of using it, it started cutting out on me. And that was the overprotection, the overpressure protection from the Nilfisk. It was basically protecting the pump, the motor inside, it was connecting all the internals, because it was trying to force such a huge amount of water through such a tiny hole that it was cutting out on me. So that was 105 bar, and the documentation, that's what, yeah, that's the one of those. The documentation does state that it creates good foam with a 1.25mm, working as low as 90 bar. You won't need the 1.1mm orifice, though it's provided as a spare in the package. If you want to replace it with a 1.1, make sure your pressure washer is between 90 and 110 bar. That's 1300 to 1600 psi. So like I said, my C105, 105 bar, didn't like the small orifice. So only use that if you've got a very low powered machine, around about 90 bar, because otherwise it's really not worth it. It's not going to work for you. So what we need to do now is take some measurements of both of these products, find out if the 1 litre bottle is truly 1 litre, and if it's any smaller or bigger than the new one or the old one, and measure them and weigh them and find out if there's a difference, and then we'll get to the Snowfoam. So this is the height check, just to see, are they different in height? Well, this one is about 23.3 millimeters. No, 23.3 centimeters. Get it right, Specky. Here we go. This is the new one, and it is 23.5, practically 4, 5. Ever so slightly bigger. Does that make a difference? Who knows? Let's check the weight. This is the old bottle, 145 grams. And then the foaming, I don't know what you call these bits, this top bit. So we'll just call this the parts. And this is 394 grams. Alright, it'll stay up there on top. The new bottle is slightly lighter, 5 grams lighter. Will we see a difference with the parts? No, it's nearly 100 grams heavier. Maybe that has something to do with a difference, maybe it doesn't. This is the capacity test after filling them to the brim and then putting the parts back into the top and accounting for the volume of space that's been taken up by the weighted pickup pipe and everything else, then taken out again. This is the true test for how much water you will have left in that bottle. And that's going right to the very brim. I know these are measured out, they have actually measuring lines on the sides of them. However, this is what the true capacity is. 1 litre, 135 mil. So this is the same situation, the same test with the new bottle. And you will see here, 1 litre, 160 milliliter. So it's slightly larger. What about the tipping test? Actually, let's make sure we hold on to that towel so the towel doesn't disappear. Will one tip before the other? This one burst off. I had to screw it back on, but it's well, it's almost empty now. Oh. And the filter thing, knob, ball thing came out. Oh. The old one, still screwed on, still all of its water in there. Oh. After those interesting noises, it's time for the poke test with the Iron Brew bottle of testing. This is not sponsored by Iron Brew, but Iron Brew, if you want to sponsor me, go ahead. This was not in any way scientific. I just wanted to find out. Here I'm actually holding them at their tipping point or their balancing point. And you can see angle-wise, they are practically identical. What does that test show? Who knows? Here's the Snowfoam test though. Everyone wants to see the difference here. So this is the old version, version 1 of the Foam Cannon Pro. And here is the same solution, the same dilution of product in the new one. Just looking at that.
Why does that look thicker?
It did look thicker, didn't it?
Yeah.
This is the same mix of product, but that came out a lot thicker. That's
2 pressure washers right now.
Surprising, isn't it? I know, I wish I had 2 as well, but then I'd have to have 2 hoses.
Okay. Let's try the other one then.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Put it on the other side of the pot. Do it again. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
I just want to be sure that I'm...
Do this one first. Do the one that's already on there first. And then we'll do the other one after. So this is the new one on the front door.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Ready?
Go on. Okay. Swap them over. Yep. And then that one, go.
Without a doubt, it's come out thicker.
There's a difference. They promised thicker foam from the new one, and
they definitely
delivered. Yeah.
Definitely.
Let me show this here. That's really like creamy thick.
It is, yeah.
Like, you know that?
Whereas that one's much more.
But this one is thinner. It drips off more.
Yeah. Look at it.
Like,
Look
yeah.
at the finger mark.
So that one's being covered more by the faster flow of the foam,
Yeah.
and this one is not so much. It's coming down very thick. Look at the difference down at the bottom on the floor. It's coming down, it's coming off like ribbons and clumps, and then over here it's dripping off much faster. That's really interesting.
That one will dwell for a lot longer then.
Well, it might not. See, the thing is, a heavier foam can also be detrimental because it's so heavy it wants to fall, whereas a thinner foam spreads the product more and it might sit there. Let's go back around the other side. Have a look at how they're doing. Yeah, you can see this one is thinning out a bit more. This is the thicker one, and it is still clinging. This one does tend to thin more, but then the weight of this one leaves larger sections being pulled off here, not so much. So it's very interesting.
It's
the
nice
difference.
to see them side by side to see how having a heavier foam compared to a lighter foam actually works, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
That's very interesting.
So after literally minutes of scientific testing, and this is all purely scientific, it's great science. I'm wearing glasses, you can trust me, I have glasses on my t-shirt. Come on, this is pure science like you've never seen before. Probably for good reason. So what are the facts? The facts are that the main thing you want to take away from it is, yes, technically speaking, the bottle is larger. Let's go through the list of what they said. Thicker foam, yes, definitely. Thumbs up, 100% agreed. More functions, can't see any new ones. Easier to use, it's exactly the same as the old one. Bigger capacity, technically yes, not that you are going to see the advantage of that. Stabler standing, is it more stable? Honestly, not in a way that would ever be useful in the real world. I don't see a difference in these at all, really, apart from the foaming. Whatever they've done to improve the foam delivery, it works in the new one. It's just something different. Somewhere, somehow, something inside the tips here, in there, the foam delivery system, something. The secret lies definitely in there. So, it's definitely better. If that's what you want, if you're looking for something that can give you more foam out of your regular snow foam, this should do the job. So it's definitely worthwhile thinking about. If you fancy buying one, I've got an affiliate link underneath. So if you buy one through my link, I get a bit of a kickback. It helps to support the channel. So please, if you are considering buying one, go ahead and use the link. It'll be down in the description below. Thank you very much to MJJC for sending this along. If you've enjoyed the science that's been going on here, the pure scientific research, then please go ahead and smash that like button. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and while you're there, ring the notification bell so you don't miss my next video uploads. In the meantime, I've been Specky the Scientist. I'll see you in the next video.